It's often to do with some kind of aspect of our reality that we don't want to see. So we're going to play around with dropping into the body somatically to do with darkness and the shadow, the aspects that we are avoiding. Start to slowly trace our fingers along the brow line. The eyes aren't just a window to our soul, they are also the window to our heart. Welcome to Monday Movements. I'm going to take you through the somatic practice for your eyes. If you were following along from last week's Monday Motivation episode on the psychosomatics behind the eyes, this flows very beautifully and really integrates the information from that episode. So I highly recommend you go and watch that episode first so that you have some context before we get into the practice. But let's get into it. So all too often when we have issues presenting with our eyes, it's often to do with some kind of aspect of our reality that we don't want to see. So we're going to play around with dropping into the body somatically, like with the somatic practice, to do with darkness and the shadow, the aspects that we are avoiding. So we're going to begin with rubbing our palms together, generating heat and warmth and a nurturing energy so that we are ready to go into the darkness with a sense of safety. Then we're going to gently cover the eyes, very lightly, very gently. A somatic practice is always done with reverence for our own body, so nice and gentle throughout every practice. And we're going to cover the eyes, feel the darkness set in, the heat, the warmth, the breath. And then from there, once you feel dropped in, we're going to start to slowly trace our fingers along the brow line, down the temples. You can keep your eyes closed for this part, down to the jaw. And just doing this a few times, sensing the most tender point on the way down. Coming back up to the center of the brow, sweeping across the brows down to the temple, and then down to the jaw. And just noticing where the point is most tender. For me, it's my jaw. It typically is. Sometimes I have a point on this brow in particular as well. But just picking up where that tender place is, using gentle touch, pausing here for a moment, or creating circular motion. Whatever nurturing movement or lack of movement, just pausing, feels most nurturing for you. So you may be here, you may be here, you may be somewhere along the brow line, but just pausing in the part that feels most tender, connecting, keeping your eyes closed if you need to drop in. We're going to start to inquire into the mental body by asking, is there a truth that I am avoiding within the darkness here? Is there a shadow aspect here in this area? A truth or a darkness or a shadow that is ready to be revealed? Because it may be unconscious or semi-conscious. You may not be aware of it yet. But just giving that time and space, giving that question, that query to the mental body some time and space to be answered. Trusting that whatever comes up is what is meant to come up. Or if there is a lack of information, that's just simply where you're at right now. And if that sensation feels like it's moving, say for example for me, I feel like it's coming back up to the temples right now, I'm going to move to here. I'm going to follow the most obvious sensation across this brow, temple, jaw line, and I'm going to keep following it. And if it shifts elsewhere, I will follow it. But we're beginning here, and this is where my body is taking me. So then we can begin to inquire the emotional body, asking it, if my eyes could cry, laugh, express without any consequences, without any judgments, what would my eyes express? You can keep your hands there, or you can simply bring your arms down and relax. Just asking, if there were no consequences, no judgments, what would my eyes be expressing right now? Name the feeling that comes up for you, the emotion. Allow your body the time, no pressure, no time constraints. Give it the space it needs to respond. And then when it feels ready for you to begin closing the practice, we always begin closing the practice with an energetic body drop in. So we finish up with that nice, juicy, loving vibration. So closing back down the eyes, visualizing an indigo light through your third eye, the third eye chakra, between the brows. And begin visualizing this indigo light expanding. So it's expanding its indigo color across your eyes, across the temples, across the jaw. And if it feels right, visualize it expanding out through the entire body. Or perhaps it wants to say, stay focused in that area and provide more attention here. And you can begin to whisper, I soften my gaze and I allow true insight with clarity and reverence. And then as you come back to the room, slowly allow your eyes to open, the gaze to softly look out into the horizon or something further away. Take note of its detail. And then looking at an object closer to you or an item, taking note of its detail, slowly coming back to the space around you through the sense of sight. Noticing how the breath has settled and the mind has quietened, noticing any shifts that have occurred throughout this session for you. And if you really enjoyed this session, feel free to do this again in your own time. I've written the basic notes of this practice below so you can do it in your own time with less time constraints. And if you really enjoyed, I invite you to subscribe to my channel so you never miss another Monday Movement episode. Let me know if you do try this practice, how you went, and if there's anything you benefited from in the comments below. I'll see you next time.